Ladies and gentlemen, before I say a lot of things, I have a question for you guys that I want you all to think about first. Do you guys really think life orientation is common knowledge? Do you think it is general knowledge? Like most times as a student, you feel like you know something up until you get to the exam room or a test. And you realize that you actually don't know that particular thing. But hey, life orientation, that's what we're about to unfold in today's video on how to study life orientation, and if you really need or have to study life orientation. But in any way, this has been a requested or recommended video by Mpumi in one of the comments about how to prepare for prelims or trial exams in Matric or grade 12. If you haven't checked that video, I will leave the pop-up link somewhere in the top or in the description below. But in any way, thank you for requesting the video for me, and I hope this will be impactful and informative. Welcome to Academic Guidance with Aleciakhanyi. If you are feeling frustrated with your grades and wondering if you can ever turn things around, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely can. As someone who experienced constant failure and had low self-esteem because of bad grades, I know what it feels like to be below average. I know what it feels like to be an average student, and I know what it feels like to be a top student because I've experienced it all. I strongly believe that there is a lesson behind every struggle. I believe that you have potential to succeed no matter where you are starting from, and I hope you believe that too. I genuinely hope this helps elevate your confidence and boost your self-esteem. Anyway, number one, for you to be able to study something or for you to get in the zone, you first have to know your curriculum. You have to know what life orientation is all about. You have to know the topics that you're required to know, like the subjects, the titles, the information that you're required to know first beforehand. So first things first, make sure that you familiarize yourself with the curriculum or the syllabus of life orientation. One thing I know is, I think you guys do like study skills, career choices, democracy and human rights, development of self and society, something along those lines. What I'm trying to say is you have to first familiarize yourself with the syllabus, and then after that, break those topics down, like create a mind map, visualize it, like put it down in like different compartments, and actually then analyze what is study skills, what are career choices, what is development of self in society about. Like you want to create a mind map to actually help you your brain restructure or critically think about these topics. If it's life orientation, the good part of it is you can actually also like think of your personal experiences, the things that you've been through in the past. For example, a basic simple scenario. Let's talk about career choices. Most times in life orientation, they'll give you like a scenario to unfold. Let's say we have a scenario where Khanyisa is a learner in grade 12 and she is having a hard time in deciding what she wants to study after grade 12, or where she wants to go to, or which university she wants to go to. And then now they ask you, and then the paper asks you like, okay, fine, what advice would you give to Khanyisa? Like, what would you advise her? Put yourself in that position. You're in grade 12 now, or any grade in high school, and now you are supposed to, or you are required or expected to choose the career that you want to pursue after high school, right? What is the very first basic thing that you would do if you don't know what you want to study? And like, what's the basic thing? Of course, research. Google search. Like, you first do research, first find a way, first research about like your interests, your hobbies, like what is it that excites you, what do you enjoy, which subjects do you like in school. Like, put all those life orientation scenarios into your own personal experiences. For example, a scenario comes that, okay, fine, Kanyisa's scenario again. She is facing her exam season. She's panicking, she's stressing out, and she's having a hard time. Like, she can't cope, she's not coping, and she's just not coping at all. Like, she's burning out. You get what I mean? Like, that's our scenario. And then now you're expected to like give Khanyisa advice, motivate Khanyisa. Like, how would you help her to like get back into her fit so that she actually prepares for examinations well? So basically, what life orientation is all about, like what it tells you is, are you able to approach the life circumstances that you actually go through in your day-to-day basis? Here they teach you to be a motivational speaker for a dummy character in the scene or in the scenario that they give you, but then yet they're trying to simply test how logically you think. Like, are you able to be logical when you're thinking, when you make decisions? How good are you at making decisions? That's what life orientation is all about. Like, put your personal experiences and like put yourself in the position or in the shoes of the character in the scenario that they give you, and then you actually think like, okay, fine, if I were in this person's shoes, what is the first thing that I would do? How would I approach this? You know, yes, to answer the very first question I asked when we started the video, is life orientation really general or common knowledge? Yes, it is. It is basic common knowledge because it is about your day-to-day activities that you experience. Like, they test you on the things that you actually go through in your daily life, your career choices, study skills, relationships, health-wise, like stresses. I think you guys do like types of stresses or stressors, something along those lines, okay? But then you actually have to know all those, and most importantly, you have to know your terminology. Now this is where now the question comes in, that do you really have to study life orientation? Yes, you have to study life orientation. Why? Because you have to know your terminology. For example, if you're someone who is studying who is learning or who is doing English first additional language, my brother, my sister, fam, first additional language is not your home language. If a question comes and they say, define what stress is, you can't say it is something like, it is when someone is not doing well, it's when someone is going through stuff. Like, you have to put it in English. We see, like, you have to use English, you have to use proper terminology, you have to use words, because they're not going to give you marks if you say stress is when someone is going through stuff. Like, now the question is, what is that stuff? Now you have to like unfold what those things are. You get what I mean? So now, yes, you have to study life orientation. You know why? Because it gives you like proper understanding of how to approach terminology questions, and also like how to approach certain scenarios. Yeah, another thing, do active learning for this subject. You know, I feel like it is so much easy to remember information that is shared by someone or a friend or anyone in class, you know, and talk it out and communicate it with your friends. Like, that will actually help you to gain like more insight in terms of like how other people actually make their day-to-day decisions, you know, because life orientation is not about decision making. Like, they just test you, how good are you at making decisions, and then they test you like as if you're a motivational speaker for a certain person in a scenario in a test. You know, that's what it's all about. Like, you want to just to like wrap this video up and not make it very long, how to study life orientation. Know your curriculum. You have to know the syllabus, like know the topics that you are required that you're expected to know, basically, you know. So another thing is that after knowing your topics, of course, you want to like break everything down and actually relate it to your day-to-day activities. When we talk about like development of self in society, like, now we're looking at like your personal well-being. Like, what do you do as an individual to make sure that you're doing good, like internally or physically? Are you maintaining your health? That's where your exercises comes in, like all those kind of stuff. Like, it's all those basic things, like your study skills, that should be something that should just be like at the back of your mind. Like, because you are a learner, you have to know what study skills are there, like the types of study skills. Like, are you a visual learner? Are you a learner who learns by listening? Like, are you a learner who learns by writing things down? Like, what do you prefer? Like, how do you study? Those type of things. Like, do you have like study plans? Like, do you make timetables, or do you just freestyle your whole study sessions? Like, all those kind of stuff, you know. Like, it's just basic stuff, but then yet you are tested on how in your ability to make life decisions. Like, how good are you at making life choices? You know, that's what life orientation is all about. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to study life orientation. It is a subject, okay? It is a subject. Like, I know, like, yeah, I get it. It's not like And I like, of course, you're not expected to know the whole textbook. No, of course, like that's so unrealistic because it has a bunch of like what's this word? A bunch of unnecessary stuff that you don't like really have to go through. But then generally speaking, you at least make sure you know your terminology and know how to apply it to like certain scenarios or like real life situations. You get what I mean? So where to get study material for life orientation. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave a document in the, I will leave links in the description below, which will take you to like the life orientation material that I actually recommend. I'll put for all the grades, grade 10, 12, 11, etc. But then what I can tell you is that when you're looking for life orientation study material, just make sure that you go to Google. Like Google is your friend, honestly speaking. Like everything that you need, you can just get it online. Like everything is accessible in today's generation. But ladies and gentlemen, I just hope that was impactful or insightful, and I just hope you got to like get something out of it, and now you have an idea of how to approach your life orientation subject. Please don't neglect this subject because it is very, very important. Like it is important to pass LO, and it's nice if you like pass it with a good mark. You get what I mean? Like it balances out your grade average. But then hey, to wrap it up, just make sure that in conclusion, make sure that you know your curriculum, understand each topic in the syllabus, like break it down into a mind map. Also put your personal experiences, like it's all about life, like the things that you go through in your day-to-day basis, you know, like put your personal experiences to it, because I feel like it is so much easier to speak out of like something that you've been through before, you know, or something that you're going through, and putting those things like on paper, I feel like it actually then helps the person who is marking your work to actually connect with you as the writer. You know, like there's just something powerful about like sharing your experiences. So just make sure that you don't gatekeep yourself or something when you're writing a life orientation paper. Just put your personal experiences. So that's what it's all about. That's what I'm testing you. Like how good are you at making decisions? Like how good are you at approaching life scenarios or circumstances, you know? So basically, yeah, I've said a lot of things, and I just hope this was actually beneficial and impactful. But hey, all the best with your trail exams. I don't know if, yeah, I think you guys are like heading to your trail exams or your prelims, and all the best with your final exams also. And I just hope you guys will then take life orientation seriously and prepare for it. And I just hope now this gave you like a proper direction of like where to start studying or how to start studying life orientation. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like and share and comment. Share it to someone who you think it will be beneficial for them. But anyway, see you in the next video.